We have reached the weekend of the first DB Women's Championship. Field has been cut about in half from the initial 120 taking part here at the festivities at the Rainbow Hills Country Club, and from that 120, 36 holes of golf were played. We took it down to 69 players. Yesterday, throughout the day, it was undeniable who, in fact, we were tracking as the player to beat. And while we didn't see a single stroke she took all day long, the answer was resounding. It was Kochi 1, ahead by 5 from minute 1 to minute 205 of our coverage yesterday. And as we begin this afternoon, well, not much has really changed. Minus 10 is still, in fact, the score to beat. With these final 69, chasing a little bit of history, trying to become the first winner of a brand new event, take home a payday of 216 million won. And for Kochi 1, who is our convincing leader, she is trying to win for a second time already in the year 2026. My name is Adam Jenkins. Thanks for making us a part of your Saturday afternoon as we take you out to the course where it is 18 degrees Celsius, overcast skies, and 3.2 meters per second. The current situation with the winds. So, of course, the pins have been shuffled up and rearranged. This is moving day, so not quite the Sunday challenges that we expect to see tomorrow, but no birdies will be handed out for free. This is Kim Min-sol, who at the moment is tied for third position. She's up 5 spots, 3 under already today after posting consecutive rounds of 71, 1 under par. Is playing as though she had been shot out of a cannon and is climbing up the leaderboards. So that was the setup for this moment. The approach at 7, and now the putt for eagle. Broke left to right, and broke right left to right, pardon me, almost immediately. Still have a short putt as she'll look for birdie in the meantime. Kochi 1. Even through the first 4 holes. And even now through the first 5 holes. So how did she do it yesterday? Well, she did it with a run of birdies, 4, 5, and 6. Would add 2 more in the back 9 at 11 and 15. She did bogey the par 3 third and the par 4 12. On the way to the aforementioned 69. Really, it was her breakaway play on Thursday that has put her in this position that she is currently doing more than an adequate job of maintaining. On 7, Yu-Hyun Jo. Sole possession of seconds. Gave up on that pretty quick.
All right, Paul.
As mentioned, par, 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 so far. So far, so good. The approach there, tee shot at 6. We have a punt for birdie, left to right, breaking. Not quite going to go, missing left.
Oh! Good.
Par and now Kim In-sol to finalize a birdie and move back into second position. Pretty straight, not much in the way of break. On the green in 2 and birdieing in 2 as well. It's her 4th of the day already. Absolutely fabulous starts. Juxar Conquer fan. Speaking of red hot starts, 3 birdies in her first 6. Shot a 72 yesterday, a 69 on Thursday, and I don't know if she's going to replicate the back 9. She would certainly appreciate it if she could. Spectacular on Thursday. From 12 to 16, she birdied or better on every hole. The better was an eagle at 13. Having some second guesses on the distance and the club that she needs to get her there. Have to wonder how satisfied she is with that approach. You again, Joe.
Okay.
Driver, of course, off the tee.
Yeah!
So drive misses the fairway, lands in the rough, just about 4 paces off of it. Uphill and tracking. That's gonna drop. Birdie, birdie, birdie. Coach E1 trying to follow suit. This is a longer putt at 6.8 meters. Speed was good. Ever so slightly misaligned. Didn't give herself enough for the break she knew would come. Second putt finishes off the hole. One more down, one more par. Due to Contrafilm now with the approach to the par 5. Lands at less than a yard beyond the flag, and very quickly comes to a stop. .2 meters for Ida Yan as she tries to recover to 2 under par. It was +3 for the round, had a double bogey at 4, followed that up with a bogey at 5. Trying to halt the descent in a hurry, reaching for the parachute cord. Well done. So a moment to stabilize. Remind herself that she is still very much in the fight here. 2 under is time for 6th position. Roll onto the fringe before it finally stops.
네, 알겠습니다.
잠시 멈춰주세요. 네.
About as textbook as you can possibly play a drive. Kim In Seol 101, but needs to get up 7 meters. Hits with a smack. Can't take any of the speed out and almost ends up in the sand trap. Showing some fabulous touch with the wedge. It's very little different considering where she is at this stage in the tournament. Already doubled her score. Started at 3 under. She's at 6. And could go one closer to the top with a birdie there. Is that going to have the speed? Yes, it will. Keita Sheehyun with her first birdie today moves her to 3 under, and that is 6th position. Juja Concrefan awfully close. But it is just not going to hang on for her. Okay, 17 minutes down and plenty more still to come in round number 3 of the DB Women's Championship. Starting to tighten up ever so slightly at the top. Kim Min Sol, Yoo Hyun Jo, joint runner-ups at 4 under and 3 under respectively. Coach Won's 10 under has felt untouchable, and you would have thought with that 5-stroke cushioning into the day she could really turn it into something. She still may, but is stuck in neutral at even through 6 here at Rainbow Hills. And welcome back to Rainbow Hills. Coach, you won our leader 201 meters out. Down, she says to the ball. Get down. She wanted that to come earlier. It wasn't much of a lofted second shot. She would have loved to use some of that cut of grass before the green to take some of the speed out. 518 meters makes it the second longest hole on the course. Picked only by the first, 531. Speaking of soft touch, we were impressed by a wedge about 10 minutes ago, and this is another. Couldn't have weighted it any better. Starting to move back online, but running out of speed. Let's get her to the par. Meanwhile, another close call. Snapping up about a meter short. Managing Sun with the par. Still at 2 under for the afternoon. Choayan. +2 tells you things haven't really gone her way today. In fact, she is 4 over. So early. Really needed that birdie. Started the round at even. Pardon me, started the round at 2 under. The double bogey right away dropped her to even. It's her first birdie right at the turn. It's +3 after 9. Just about 50% of the time this year, these 3.7-meter putts have been made. Fortunately, we can't add that one to the column. Two pars to finish off the hole. Using the mound of rough just before the green to act as both an aim point and an opportunity to slow down. And now, this very long uphill approach. It's a much nicer position today. This would have been a near perfect approach yesterday based on the pin's placement.
Okay.
Threw so much power she couldn't stay in the fairway. Tee shot at 9. Powerful, in control, and quite right. You're not really expecting that sound, are you? Off the tee. It kicks out after picking up another 30, 40 yards. A short wedge from the rough. Clean contacts, and she should still be okay. Technically, if we were to be precise to the micro level, we wouldn't have a single fairway in regulation from the group. Kochi won this as a very long putt. Kind of get anything in and around 2 to 3 meters to look at a birdie and finally get on the board today. And that's going to be a nice flat, easily attackable putt to go to 11 under. She's in 2-putt par territory. 12.8 the first. Big chunk to chew off. The hop, skip, and a weave. Takes that to within 20 centimeters or so. She has played some very solid golf as an invited player. She's scoring consistently in the rookie points as well. 31 on the board today. Took 7 holes, but she got there. Let's see if that's the first of many, but how many, of course, is what we'll all be wondering. Onto the fringe, settling down and about 8 meters away. Match in the stretch of rough separating the green from the end of the fairway. If this straightens out, it has a chance. Couldn't hardly believe it. Few situations where you'll be really disappointed in a part when you did a full lap around, it felt. To the next, trying to build off the birdie, just a bit beyond the fairway. Kiming Seoul, 54 degrees, 86 meters at 9, high up in the air. Sneak and tuck in behind. Jito Conkerfen rolls in the last few centimeters to conclude the hole. Chip to about 1.5 meters, courtesy of Hunjin Sun. Yeah, it's not easy. This mountainous Rainbow Hills Country Club. Let's take a look back at
나이스 파!
Coach
화이팅!
starting off with the par, and it was a lot bad. And it's not a disservice to her because, as you could tell from where she's taking all these putts from. With slightly varying ends of the spectrum, they've all been that sort of 4 or 5 meters. She's driving well, she's approaching well. This arguably her top putt so far today. Another shorty about 20 to 30 centimeters. And then, of course, at the last, the birdie. Waiting for the green to clear in front of her. That's because we have some players putting right now, including Kim Min-sol. That deficit has buoyed back up to 5 strokes after the birdie. Oh. Be able to change that here as she takes her par. Joe. 4.6. Really wasn't a ton in the way of break either on that putt. Attacking the pin, and then there is literally attacking the pin. So that will leave her with a birdie. It won't be nearly as dramatic, but thanks to that great setup, she'll be able to reap the rewards. And, the short uphill finish for Hyun-Shin Sun. Are at 4 under through 10 today. Yu-Hyun Jo also looking for par. Also par. 3 under is trailing only Kim Min-sol for the best round of anyone in the top 20. Peng Min-ji today is on pace for a 68, currently playing on the south course on her way in. She's up 27 positions. Lower than that is just unheard of for the weekend so far. She hardly wants to look. Missing to the right and down into the little valley bowl goes the approach from Coach Ji-won. To save a par at 11. Still a fair bit remaining considering this is her 3rd shot on the par 3. It's 4 pars in a row, has not birdied since hole number 1. With 2 bogeys over that stretch as well. Well, statistically, nobody playing better golf today than Kim Min-sol. Bogey free for the first time on the front 9 all week. Had an eagle at 13 on Thursday. Yesterday, just the 2 birdies on the way in. And a bogey at the par 5, but otherwise she has been in good form here. It is incredibly hard to believe that she is a rookie. 536 points, leads the rookie category. Kim Ga-ui on 287, almost doubling up that total. Chae Jung-won 239, Patrick Jeter Concathan 206, just tied with Young Min-ji.
있습니다. 카메라 소리 안 나게 해주세요. 사진 찍지 말아주세요. 있으면 살짝 뒤 안 돼.
Which wood do I want? That's the discussion. Do I even want a wood? Just switching out to the hybrids to start this par 5. Let's see if it's the right choice. She looks unbothered, which is usually a good sign. And that would be why. Couldn't be more central in the fairway. There she dropped it out of her pocket. Joe shoots next. Plotted by her caddy. Good shot, he says. Left turn boundary of the fairway. Okay, all three off and running here at number 10. Pitching wedge, par 4, 123 out. That's a tough one for Patrick Jujar-Conkerfan, rolling all the way to the back. Uses the slight rise just before the fringe to her advantage. She's going to come up a lot closer than you would have expected based on how fast that ball was sailing when it hit the green. Eugenia +4, trying to right the ship. And a frustrating day remains as such as the tee shot of the par 3 ends up on the beach. Coachy one staring down. Tricky uphill putt. Got herself set up the way she wants. Read that break perfectly. With a little more speed, it would have gone exactly where she needed it to. And it was always going to be tricky to be anything other than short. 262, Han Jin Sun, also with the hybrid. Strong, smooth swing right to the outermost corner. I suppose innermost corner. It's a matter of perspective. Another ball that finds the cart path and goes rat-a-tat-tatting down and then up the hill. Would have been hoping for it to pop out into the fringe. And Joe.
Okay, just.
Down goes the group of the top challengers so far. Lots more to come from those three. Young sung for after coming together and providing a birdie to give the supporters something to sing about. Patrick Jeter Conquer fan for birdie now. Yes, that's going to go, and a triumphant pump of the fist. Her fourth birdie of the opening 9. She hits the turn at 3 under 33. Not quite as successful in terms of the score, but Coach Yuan, after missing her approach down right, able to complete the hole exactly where she started it, minimizing any potential fallout. Here comes our resident rules expert, just to make sure everything's being done properly here. A larger crowd than normal gathering on the cart path. Risk of oversimplifying, essentially what you're trying to do is ensure that the plane upon which the ball enters the cart path is mimicked, and you can take your free relief from there. We have seen some players said, you know what, it's actually not so bad. It's probably not good for my club, but I can pick this clean. Is this headache worth the extra 20, 25 meters? Probably not. So while we wait for Kim Min-sol, Sun. Third shot approached at 90 meters. Flag not moving at all as the wind is in a bit of a lull. One of the reasons why she's able to go on and attack so bravely.
지가 80. 약간 더.
This is not recommended by your local club doctor at the pro shop. This might be the last day that this pup's in the bag. Right down the middle of the cart path. Sparks could fly quite literally. You wouldn't expect spectacular things. One of the reasons that we play on grass and not asphalt is the dynamics of the swing, where you're impacting the ball, where you're impacting behind the ball. So that fourth shot will come from the rough next. And Joe had been patiently waiting. I'm wondering if she waited just a little bit too long. That's uncharacteristic of her. Onwards. Coach E1. Final hole of her opening 9 here on the South Course. And that will just about take us to the end of hour number 1 here at Rainbow Hills. Coach E1's advantage is 5 from Pachor Jutar Conkerfan, Kim Min-sol, and Yoo Hyun-jo all tied at 6 under. Han Jin-sun holding on to the 4 under score to be in the outright 4th position. And from there, it gets a little convoluted. What's interesting to note, only 10 players from 120 under par as they tried to tame the challenging Rainbow Hills Country Club. Day 3, moving day in Umsan. So we'll pick things up again with Kim Min Sol, just shy of the green at 10. Uses the fringe to try to slow it down. You've had a little bit of rain, but honestly not as much to really soften things up. High temps and the winds also working really hard to dry things out. Main iron here for Coach E1, and that's trouble. Plunked, buried in the sand trap. Back edge of the green, putts to a pretty decent distance. Second gets her the rest of the way. June. Well, that's going to work out. An absolute treat. My word, what an approach. Starting to move back right. That is just going to hang on. What a par. From the cart path to the hole in 2 strokes and making it look easy. I think as we can all appreciate, it was anything but. So our leader in the sand trap. High out. Now needs to dig in, slow down. This is how it looked from her perspective. Dug in so deep, her right foot was just about buried entirely. Not quite the speed Hunching's son. Take one more.
Okay.
So, to avoid our first bogey of the rounds, yourself with too much to do. Coaching one. Hits a bogey. Okay, June looking for bird. It's a really tidy bit of business. So with the bogey from Coach G1, Kim Min-sol finds herself within 4. I think anyone's expecting the chasing pack to catch Coach G1 today, though it is certainly possible. And if they could try to whittle the deficit down to 2 heading into tomorrow, would be quite the coup in its own right. Iron for Yu-Hyun Jo, teeing off the part 3 11th. As we've seen a few times by now, 6 yards from the left fringe and 6 yards from the back. Need to be long. She was definitely in the right neighborhood, just couldn't keep it on the green. Sun will follow her all the way towards the rough, but get that helpful little roll back. One of 4 for Patrick Juta Concrefan. Kicks off the fringe, and that's going to go in the hole. You need to be lucky to be good, and good to be lucky. An eagle in back-to-back days. The most improbable shot of the week. A little bit left to right on the ball flight, but I mean, my goodness. That is a 1 in a million type of shot. G1 left scratching her head. A double bogey at the 9th drops her to 9 under, and suddenly Suddenly she is within reach. Okay, so in that position, chipping from off the green. To say it was too quick is a bit of an understatement. Every time we're going to see it, it's never going to stop being impressive. She's finally there to collect her ball. You want to frame that one.
Sure.
2:13 local time. Yarnum's song, and the back nine begins for Coach E1. Has to very quickly try to put that double bogey in the rear view mirror. Unprecedented considering how well she's played nearly for 2.5 rounds. 45 holes of golf. Stepping out of that right away, she was certainly hanging in a delicate balance with the amount of break there. It's 4 pars in a row, pardon me, for Kim Min-sol now. 3 back, tied for third. All right, 4 times, not enough. Let's go for 5. Still smiling ear to ear, and for good reason.
Good.
doesn't look up until she heard the crowd gasp. It's a strategy for many when you're lifting your head too early. Just keep it down. Trust in your swing. She did trust in the swing, but it did let her down. Punching Sun to stay at 4 under. Par putt at 11, downhill.
안주성 화이팅!
One type of camera could give us this shot. Easier on the legs too when you could just fly up with the drone. With the first swing.
들어가겠습니다. 뒤에 멈춰주세요.
Okay. The player electing to not go for the driver, but instead take a little bit less club. Downhill, this thing will absolutely fly. Down and dry, but right on the border of the rough. Last of the three to commence. Goes to the right. Hunching Sun and Company.
칠게요. 플레이하겠습니다.
볼!
Four is shouted as that ball goes screaming off into the trees. Very, very, very fortunately, it rolls back down the hill and Kochi 1 is looking perplexed, waiting for definitive confirmation. Under all of a sudden, just one back. Tee shot of the par 3, rolls back down. Well, this suddenly has taken a drastic turn and is looking very tight and very exciting. Patrick Jutak Concrefan one back of Kochi 1 after that double bogey at 9. A fresh slate, a back 9 commences, but a second shot on the par 5 into the trees shows just where Kochi 1 is right now mentally, with the pressure starting to pack in at the first DB Women's Championship.
주세요. 제가 할게요.
And welcome back. Nearing the midway mark, pardon me, of round number 3, moving day, and there is certainly some movement on page 1 of the leaderboard, and it's making for a very, very exciting third round at Rainbow Hills. Of course, the shot of the tournament so far. Patrick Jutar Conquerfan. It was a very lucky shot, but it was an eagle nevertheless, and suddenly she is within 1 stroke. Sun after the approach. Love's coming off. Putter's about to be grabbed. Coach, you won. Was fortunate not to have lost that ball. And with her second, reaches the green all the way to the back of it, but on the green. Two players long, one approach just short. We're at 11. After the eagle, how quickly golf can give and then promptly take away. It's Coach Yuan. Trying to reach deep into her bag of tricks to pull out a birdie. Not the case. Now, Conquerfan, she's going to drop. Seven. Jin Sun looking for 5 under 9.2. Tails off at the end just before. Kochi 1, it's a par. Leveling things out. Okay, starting to move. There it's going. The fringe to the cup. Yukon Joe with her first birdie since hole number 6. Returns to the 6-under score she was a hole ago before the bogey. Seoul also trying to get the fans on their feet and up in arms. But alas. Of time preparing for the par, steadying the nerves and depositing that par. It's a busy spot, Rainbow Hills Country Club. Playing host to the premier women's golf tour. KLPGA Tour. Perennially one of the best across the globe. Joe, 65 meters per second off the face of the driver. That is a big swing. .68 meters per second and 248 meters of carry. He's setting the bar and setting it high. All right, the last to begin. Down, down, down the fairway it goes. For birdie. 11 and 13 added with 8. Back under par for the round. Less drama off the tee would be welcome. In regulation. Still just a little bit short. Well, after the eagle, she followed it up with a bogey and is now in trouble once again. Long walk down to the green. So this will be shot free for Congrefan from knocking on the door to needing to get up and down to avoid canceling out that eagle just 2 holes after making it. So while we wait, let's go back into the highlight vault. Listen, we've had eagles this week. It's not like Dr. Fens was the first. It was just maybe the wildest. Kidman Soul had one on Thursday, and a smooth transition that one. She's back on this very same green. Yuhyun Joe, 58-degree wedge. She goes right at the corner, trying to keep herself close, and she can putt from there. All the way to the end of the fairway should lead to a very attackable approach shot, but that is well short. I wonder if she was scared off by the wind. Contemplation. Which wedge is the right wedge for me in this scenario? And 47 meters after that unbelievable drive. She has brought power to the tour, the rookie. Look at this. Marvelous. Excellent touch. And she's smiling because she knows what's going to come after that. I like to call those a blindfolded birdie. Spin you around, cover your eyes, you just need to touch it and it'll do the rest for you. That's not the case for Coach Yuan. At 7.1 meters downhill, left to right breaking, had a chance. She will stay over par for one more hole. How it's gone today through 11 holes. 9 pars, 1 birdie, it was at 7, and the double at 9. And after finding the water off the tee at 12, Patra Jutar-Concrefan trying to avoid a bogey. Well, she gave it a really good go, but it was a little too much to ask.
하겠습니다. 네, 하겠습니다.
Okay, so very little left for Coach Yuan, confirming that par. And as Concrefan bogeys, that gives her a bit of a boost. returns her advantage to 2 strokes, but it's as slim as it's been since Thursday. All day yesterday, Kochi 1 was up by 5. You can do some quick math. 4 under for Conquerfan, +1 for Kochi 1, and that whittles. Idayan also over par today. A couple of shoutouts to Kim So-yoon 2 and Hong Jin-young 2, both with 70s as they get closer to even, and even as it's currently constituted would be the joint 11th best score of the tournament so far. Another break back on the other side at Rainbow Hills. Into the late stages of our second hour of coverage. Moving day on the KLPGA Tour. The Sunshine Suns punt for birdie. It was short. And now we'll head to 12. And a look back once again. Well, how does the saying go? The best predictor of future behavior is past performance. I'm sure it was more eloquently said than that. And this is something else that I think is worth mentioning, at least bringing back to the surface. I think one of the reasons for Kochi 1's great play yesterday, and it was phenomenal play relative to the rest of the fields, the wind yesterday afternoon was absolutely furious. And I think there was no better example than here. Off the tee, and it's not just that you need the muscles to get there, over the water here at 12, but you were fighting with an insane headwind. Fortunately, it is much calmer today. No trouble, not even close to that conversation, as Coach U1 is at least as deep as the fairway, though slightly left. Yuhyun Jo is going to putt from the back fringe, looking for birdie. Just a little nudge. Downhill, but left to right breaking. Lee Seung-yeon. Time to approach. Makes the adjustments for the tailwind and is in a great spot about 4 or 5 meters beyond the flag. Par for Han Jin-sun. She stays at 4 under. 5 holes remaining in her third round. Kim Soo-ji, look at this back 9 in progress, all the way up to T6 thanks to 4 birdies. She's at 3 under, trying to add 1 more. She is absolutely dialed in her approach game, and it is having a drastic impact. Kim Min-sol for the birdie, and the rookie is back in that confident way about her. Lee Seung-yeon looking for 3 under. Here it comes. That's going to go. Back-to-back birdies now. She reaches T6. Another big drive, 227 the carry, settling into the fairway. Jin-sun fades it up the hill over the water into the fairway. I'll leave Yuhyun Jo at 14. Hardly any curve on this for the longest time. 227 and reaching the fairway. meandering walk around the water. And while we wait for that group to reach and prepare their second shots, we'll find the second for Coach E1. Kick it back into high gear. Furthest from the pin in the group. Go all the way onto the fairway, potentially between clubs, and wondering if she is thinking about whether or not she made the right choice. Kim Soo-ji, can she possibly add another for birdie at 18? No. She'll be about the same distance past the flag as she had started from, maybe even a little bit longer. Sun short of the green with her second. Front located pin into the wind as well, increasing the difficulty of the shot. Okay, Kim Min-sol. So no issue reaching. That headwind turned into a crosswind. Reducing this 352 meters. 74. A strong drive leads to the best approach from the lot. And a look at birdie. Kim Soo-ji, best round, and that's an understatement of the week so far, 67. Had a chance for 4 under, which would have been 5th or better, but considering where she had been, absolutely smashing success. Starting from the fringe. It's probably a little bit shorter than Coach Yuan was after. And 61 meters, 54-degree wedge, nowhere near a full swing for Patrick Jutar-Concrefan. Sun. Not quite as close to the pin as she had been after. with Coach E1. Trying to avoid a bogey. It's a good par. Okay, Kim Min-so starting this well right. Maybe just a bit too conservative after all. She was awfully close to the water. She narrowly escapes and then doubles down with a long putt from off the green. Joe, this is a look at 7 under par. Too much break. Fooled her. Another hole, another par. Judo Concrefan trying to pick up the pieces after a tough couple of holes following the eagle. She's being hypercritical. It's not a bad putt, it's just not the putt she wanted. Sun, this is a tricky distance to try to stay at 4 under. Starting it slow. Oh, breaking right to left.
실례하겠습니다.
Coach E1, 9 under still, 12 holes down. 6 holes to go here on Saturday. Driving accuracy has been a bit of a struggle. Not insurmountable, Kim Sol continues her excellent play. And well beyond her years. And a good groove. Slow zoom in behind the green to the tee, and yep, you're busted. Looking for that late round kick. And when you don't have a straw, you got to do what you got to do. Or you would just be looking for an almond. And you wouldn't need a straw at all, of course. Eyes up, just offside the guard path. Straight as an arrow up into the hill. And stopping on top of it, right on the crest. Fueled by almonds. That's the lesson we've learned today. Kochi one off the tee, missing the fairway. That's not going to be daunting. Just grabs the wedge, trying to attack the pin, and has done so. Still just the one birdie today for our leader. It came back at the 7th, and despite that, her buffer has still kept her on top, though certainly not as comfortable as she had been a few hours ago. 65 the score she shot on Thursday, 69 yesterday, on pace for a 73. Though still has a third of her round to try to straighten things out. Kim Sol's up 6 positions, the rookie. On pace for a 67 today. She's in second. Yoo Hyun Jo and Patra Jutar Conkerfen share third. Kim Soo Ji, Lee Soo Young, Han Chin Sun, and Kim Shi Hyun T5. Park Hae Jun and Hee Dae-yeon round out your top 10 at present time. And present time here in Umsong, well, it is 3:12 local, and we'll be back in a few as we continue to walk you in towards the finish line on moving day at the first DB Women's Championship. And welcome back. Hour number 3 of round number 3, the Thai sensation. Patrick Jutar-Conkerfan continues to impress. Up in a share of third position with Miss Yu Hyun Jo. Attacking the green here. 8-iron from not an undaunting position. No doubt being, all things were created perfectly equal and you had exact command and control. You want to be a little bit short of the pin. Always fun. Idayon, third birdie today. First of the back 9, brings her back into a share of 5th position. .106. Kim Min-sol just short. Hits the fringe and it bounces back into the rough. Kochi one trying to return to double digits under par. Be a long time coming. Oh! Has to start to wonder if she's cursed.
Yeah. That's up.
Frustrating walk off the green. Patrick Jutar-Conkerfan expecting a lot of right to left break on this putt. She knew what it would do, and there's that trademarked fist pump as she picks up yet another birdie. Hanshin Sun, a little dribbler. Starting from above the flag, gravity's about to kick in, and how about the line kicking in too? Straightening out, a few centimeters away. Well met to set up a par. Fresh off that birdie. Drive takes her into the fairway, and now Kim means Seoul. Big dramatic backswing. The outcome, well, it's almost a replay. In fact, it's going to be a replay, and she's even further buried in the rough. That's a bit of a sticky situation for the rookie. Kochi one. Taking out some of her anger after that missed putt into the drive, and she throttles it, joining her group mates in the fairway. Using Lee Seung-yeon. Big swing here at the par 5, 16th. Connecting the dots from one fairway to the next. Downhill, right to left, breaking putt. Get going. Oh. He grimaces. She knew she was almost even hovering over a birdie. Park June. 214 to the flag, but significantly uphill. So she doesn't try to go for it. That's the wise move. The last plate of grass of the fairway. Kim Min-sol now, after her trouble escaping the rough, just needs the one putt. Just able to avoid a bogey by the skin of her teeth.
치라는 거 치지 말라는 거.
right, after
샷.
a few moments to gather our thoughts and mentally prepare for the final stretch.
그래 좋아 더 굴러 더
It was worth the wait, pardon me. Patience is rewarded with a fabulous drive.
어프로치 했는데 지금 다시 내려와서 그 자리에 꽂혔어. 똑같은 자리에 여기 핑계를 내려.
Almost a carbon copy.
여기면 여기 한 200마디라 살짝 쳤는데 완전 심하진 않았는데 좀 소심하게 쳤어.
파란 색깔, 밝은 색깔 나무 끝에.
And that will leave Kim In-sol. Final par 5 of the round. Passing one. And the only thing that really stops her is the first cut after the fairway.
고생하셨습니다.
Coaching 102 in the pitching wedge. Her desire for birdie, it might just be becoming a little bit of desperation. Chases that low score. It's going to be tough. Speaking of, that could be trouble. Patrick Jutar Conquer fan out by the trees, looking for a lost ball. What an absolute roller coaster this back nine has been for her. Culminating on this hole with a drop. Parque June looking for a birdie to take her to 3 under par. Just about there on the speed. That's a solid A-, that putt, but needed an A+ for the birdie. It's a fairly vacant green. Coach Yuan technically for birdie. Come on, if this is how it ends, oh. She just can't catch a break. Kept the flag in, used it as her target. This unfathomable run without a birdie continues, and she's wondering how in the world. We finally have our resolution. So there must have been some kind of natural obstacle there, which led to the free relief. That's why this is shot 2. So that in its own right is a lucky break, but this is a tricky lie. Tree branches and thick, tall grass. Still better than the alternative. Had that been shot 3 instead of 2. But from that dense rough, she needs to get up and down for par. Sun 222. Second shot, it will probably play close to 205. That gives her the confidence to try to reach. She's in the rough, but she's pretty well level with the green, and I think she would be satisfied with that. Because that's up and down for birdie. That's what faces her. Excellent. On the green of the par 5 in 2. Unfortunately, she's going to slip a little bit towards that back right corner, but a long putt to try to set up a birdie. Well, we were 2 for 2 up until our last candidate, Keeping Soul, is going to find herself in a bit of a predicament when she reaches the green. We'll get the answer to just how what's the extent, pardon me? Third for Conkerfan. She is only on the green for a brief instant, rolling off the side. She's not the only one to suffer that fate, but it still doesn't feel great. .38 p.m. local time on a Saturday in Umsong. Coach G1's advantage is 2, and that's likely not to change, with Conkerfan needing to get up and down to save a par. So things are still feeling rosy for Coach G1, even though she has not found a birdie since much earlier on the front 9. But she's staving off the pushing pack for now. Let's see how long that can continue, if it can continue all the way through hole 54. Event number 6 of the season on the KLPGA Tour. A debut Women's Championship. We're live at Rainbow Hills in Umsong. And for a second day in a row, a mixture of the weather, course conditions, the pin placements, we are seeing an absolute grind to find birdies. It's been a rarity. And you think that the 5th best score on the course is a 4 under, and only 10 players are under par from 120. Shows you just how much people have to work for their birdies, just like this. That counts. Huge smile for Kim Shi-hyun.
플레이하겠습니다.
She's back under par for the round. Successful drive. Hutchinson, third shot at the par 5. Chip with some pace to run it up the hill. It's a head scratcher, leaving her wondering how she's going to handle the next shot and how that shot came to be. Conquer fan trying to save the par, comes close to it. But it was a wayward drive that put her in that situation in the first place. Impromptu trip to the beach. Soul from the sands. Muscle that up the hill, but it's not going to have the roll. Okay, backside of 16. Picked it up and placed it 5 yards past the fringe. And that will roll all the way almost perfectly in line with the shadow of the flag pin high. So Jean, 2 shots to get her to the finish line, plus 4, a 41 that was not a typo, of course. On the way out, it was tricky to recover from there. Width of the green, this putt. Simple finish. That's a nice birdie, Park Hye-joo. That's her fourth today. All smiles after that marvelous setup. Kim In-sol up the hill, trying to use the flag as a backstop. Five iron for Coach E1. Needs a lot of club here, especially with the uphill nature of this approach. She clears the rough. Down. Couldn't quite, pardon me, get a grip on the speed needed there. This has a chance, you know.
Okay.
99% perfect. Eugenia, bogey to the 10th, parred since there, triple at 4, and a birdie at 1. So trying to avoid a bogey, 2.3 meters downhill. It's going to break left to right. It's too quick for the tight line she took. She's disappointed by the bogey, but she has so much to celebrate from this round. Today, and a runner-up position belongs exclusively to her now. Just 2 off the leads. That might change based on what happens at 15 with Coach E1. That's softly struck. That should be close enough to avoid anything particularly uncomfortable. More than she wanted.
우리 갈게. 우리 갈게.
Okay, clear path at 16. drive took her to the end of the fairway and then some. Only 195 left. 8 meters down the hill. Grabs the wood and goes to work. And if she's not in the sand, she's in the thick rough. And that is an unfortunate outcome. She's not the only one to suffer that same fate. Looking down at the face of the club for answers. A simple but effective finish. Just a couple of short feet and in a ream. After 10, no more bogeys, and 2 birdies on the way in as well. Eight iron for Yuhyun Jo on the par 3. Base of the green and kicks right. That's the end of the line for Coach One on this hole. And it's another where she'll have to wait. Patience is running a little bit thin, and understandably so. Rookie. That's a bounce back. Perfectly judged tee shot. With 3 holes remaining for Coach One, her advantage is 2. Patrick Chutar Conkerfan on 16, and well, she has some trouble. She's not the only one in the group to be short and dealing with it. Idayan bent back to +2 and 4. Back on the other side with more from Rainbow Hills. So it's time to get back to work at the home stretch. Woman Day Saturday at Rainbow Hills. Hanjin's son. Short little chip. Set up what she will hope to be a par. Yuhyun Jo, her second shot on the par 3. Will also leave her with a very short par. Player currently in a runner-up position. Sustains that score for one more hole. 2-1. Massive smack as she sends the drive on her final par 5 long. Down the hill that will come. That's textbook. Rolled in, Kim Seol. Tough couple of holes back-to-back bogeys, but recovers and is now even once again for the back 9. Well, this is pretty easy to tell. It's 100 meters even. Kim Ji-hyun's 4th. It's 100 meters even because, well, she got herself into some trouble with the hazard right in front of the OB line. The option to chip or putt, I imagine it will be a putt as she desperately tries to save par. Here it comes. Weight-wise, judged wonderfully so. On the hole. Meanwhile, in the bunker, Dr. Juta Conkerfan trying to force that up all the way, but sand really slowing her down as it's wont to do. She'll have to come back up. Needs that par all of a sudden to, needs that putt, pardon me, all of a sudden to save a par.
카메라 소리 안내 부탁드립니다.
Seol. Driver out on 18, her final tee shot of round number 3. 220, the final TrackMan carry stats off the tee. And away the group. We're just about ready to go. Okay, June putting on 18. Using her groupmate's ball marker as a target more so than the flag. She stops about 1.5 meters shy. Fan up the hill, and it's going to stay put. Kim Ji-hyun starting this well left of the hole. She was expecting just a little more break than we got. Okay, so we're hoping that this is her last shot today on the par fives. And to avoid another bogey, this back nine has been riddled with them. That's excellent under the pressure. Kim Ji-hyun now to avoid a double bogey as much as this is to putt for bogey. She'll be dropping. Final comparing of notes, trying to find the exact yardage on the pin placements. We got that information too. Using the very beginning of the green, which is also parallel to the edge of the water. It's 15 yards deeper than that. 7 yards away from the left fringe. 136 meters to be precise. Yu-Hyun Jo. The wedge in hand, downhill to the green. Thud tells us that it's dry. She wasn't really taking any chances with the water on the front side at all. Another conservative but safe on from Han Jin-sun. It's always the spot to be on the weekend, crowding around the 18th green. You'll find inspiration, jubilation, heartbreak, pretty much every emotion that comes with this sport. 103 meters for Kim Min-sol, the rookie. One of the stars of the week, one of the stars of the season thus far. Ended a run of back-to-back bogeys with a birdie. She'd love to make it 2 for 2. Be a bit on the long side, that putt, when she arrives on the green. Beanbag chairs look like a great spot to set up shop and have no desire to beat or go anywhere else. The wait. Is that the shot that breaks the spell that Min-sol has, pardon me, Gochi 1 has been under? Shots 17 a little short, so I think she just asked how. All right, without further ado, Yuhyun Joe comes very close to getting the crowd up and shouting. So Park concludes the round that has been the best of her week so far. Provisionally second and 2 strokes back of Kochi 1. Patrick Conkerfan from off the green, which has been her specialty somehow, making those shots look quite easy. The putt at 18, Hanshin Sun. It's for birdie. It's uphill. It's going to need quite the swing. Has she given it enough? Not quite. Gentle chip most of the way back down towards the flag, but still about 6 meters off it. Kim Min-sol is studying. Hush falling over the course as the sun begins to get lower in the sky. Calm on the water, calm around the 18th green. 6.5 meters for birdie, an improbable but not impossible putt. Stood up as she watches it keep carrying speed all the way through. Young for birdie. That's going to go. We'll take her closer to even par for the round. She's down 7 positions from where she began this morning. Not quite a meter to finish at 18. She looks a little disappointed. It is remarkable consistency, though, for Hanshin Sun, who has shot a 71 every single day this week. She's tied for 5th position. Needed to be speedy to get up the hill. It's almost incomprehensible this day from Kochi 1. Not every single time you play the game, even if it's the same course, where you're going to rack up birdies left, right, and center. But for her to go 16 holes and only have the 1 birdie is pretty unbelievable. Kim Min-sol finishes up her round. It's a 68 for her. I mean, the rookie climbing to new heights every single week, it feels. You should not be this poised at such a young age. Third in the money list, fifth in the points, first in the rookie points, Kim Min Sol.
You don't have to hit so far. Just keep the flight carrier.
The 34-year-olds. It's a bit ironic that she qualifies for a rookie.
Back out.
Rookie on this tour.
Shot.
Huge drive, 30 meters at the apex, 65 meters per second off the club face, and 228 meters of carry. Iron here at hole 17, the par 3. 8 iron. Not quite the carry to get onto the green. She'll be forced to chip, I would imagine, that lie. Iron for Coach Yuan. She too will also get hung up on that front fringe. We'll look back through some of the notable shots today from a few notable players. Yune Reem, really impressive putt from about 8.5 plus. Dialing up the birdie.
고기 더 생.
Another shot from off the green. This time, tricky technique. Really slow lofted chip. And that would run perfectly down the line off the flag and in. It's great to pick up pretty and some confidence along with it. And there was Soa Jean at 10. At the time +4. She had about 12 meters of grass to cover. Nice pickup there. To 11 next. Flying left, right, and center. And when they happen, the group. But otherwise, hard to chase. Some of the best ones we saw today were for Parse on display.
알지. 30판 45. 30에 50이죠.
그러니까 이 방향으로. 네. 호흡은
그러니까 저희가 본 건
다르고.
거의
앞쪽이었어요.
왜 여기 나무까지 가질 않았는데 저희가 본 건
Is
이쪽이었어.
on for the
나무까지
tee shot
가질
at
않았거든.
18 that went into the reeds.
오빠 그거 봤어요.
근데 이제 정확히 보이지도 않으니까.
Sure. I'm wondering if he'll be needed in size. Looking back to earlier in the rounds, I mean, the per capita, but the amount of like highlight reel and beyond, like shots of the month, shots of the season that she has had in this tournament, even today, you know, none more so than this one. It's the 7th time I've seen this replay, and I still can't hardly believe it. And the Thai golfer is bringing a lot of joy and some absolutely brilliant shooting to this DB Women's Championship. So still a bit of a hold-up while they search for the ball in the interim. We can head back to the par 3, Ida Yan. Chipping for birdie, short on the front. There's a chance. It'll be up and down. Is this the missing culprit? Need to get the stake marker out, but I believe that's indeed what the search party was after. This is inching its way, just breaking at the last moments. Two-putt par is confirmed. Kim Shi-hyun switching focus to recovery modes. She was able to find it and avoid the penalty and mostly muscle that into the fairway. Just a little short. Stop me if you've heard that before from Coach One's round. Now the third, and what she is certainly hoping is the final stroke. And it is indeed her par. Water onto the green after a little bit of a delay. Final hole in an important round. You can afford to spare a few extra moments. Kim Ji-hyun now shot number 3 from the thick, tall grass of the rough to the short hillside rough instead. That will tail back down towards target, but the putt suddenly becomes one for par, trying to avoid a bogey. We have finally arrived on the 18th tee. At 216 meters as Coach One disappears on the other side of the hill. The camera operator down there is really working for their pay today. That's a tough one, certainly with the gray skies like that, to be able to pick it up. These are some skilled operators. She has always been a placement over power type. Not to say that she doesn't have the ladder as well. First drive, 212. Left of center in the fairway and visible. And our featured group is marching down to prepare their approaches on this par 4.
있어요?
Jihyun 3 in the penultimate group. Over the water, and the backspin comes in, slamming the approach on its brakes. Meeting of the minds. Game plan has been decided on. What's left is just to try to execute. 69 in the first round, 72 yesterday. A round of 68 if she can find a way to make it. One more magic trick. Oh, they call her PK. A few less syllables, certainly. Today we'll almost want to call her MJ, as in Michael Jordan, with some of the shots she made. What a round. Birdies at 2, 3, 6, 9, 14. Of course, that brilliant eagle at the 10th. Settles for a par at the last here, and a very symmetrical score through the week so far. 69, 72, 69. She is tied for third position, 3 back heading into Championship Sunday. Kim Shi-hyun putting for a par. That's going to break left. Disappointing as that. We'll see her drop to over par for the round. (72, 69, 73) the scores so far this week. Still in the top 10, but it is a bit of a bummer to end on. Certainly when it's 3 bogeys on the way in. And played on the East course. Ji-hyun 3. nice way to finish, even though it was a frustrating day, to put it mildly. It's an impressive putt, but does some more damage to the score. Ultimately, it is a 78 plus 6 in this third round. She drops to a tie for 23rd position. The green has cleared. We may resume. Yusoyan 2 plus 3. Furthest from the flag and the first to shoot. 8 players at the moment at that score. Throwing my pen too focused on what Coach G1 might have in store here. 8 iron, 143 over the water, trying to birdie and put together a round of 72. Well, we can take birdie off the table. She should have avoided the water being just long enough, but that's not going to be a straightforward up and down. She certainly saves the best for last. Absolutely sensational. That was the one side of the spectrum. The other is this from Coach E1. Is there a splash? You can see the frame by frame, some forensic detecting. She was onto the hillside. She is still acknowledging and smiling and, quite frankly, treating the supporters to a good show. Even though she knows that if she wants any chance of winning it all tomorrow, she needs to bring it. And certainly bring more birdies along for the ride.
플레이하겠습니다.
Okay, so the luxury being able to move the camera and show you what's on the other side. Shows it's not nearly as dire as it looked like it could have been for Coach E1. Chip and roll. It would have been the most bizarre way to finally get that birdie that she has long sought. But ultimately, it's not going to come. I don't know if it's you go home and you don't think about golf again for the rest of the night. If you spend a couple hours on the range, putting greens, working a short game, everything, just try to freshen it all up. She knows what she's doing, but she will have some great challenges. First of the putts. And it's a very long one. It's a good outcome, all things considered. An 80 today for you, So-Yeon, too. Not one to write home about. Trials and tribulations make this game what it is. Without further ado, final two shots today. First par is confirmed. And a round of 72 for Ida Young. Outright fifth at 4 under. And you have to wonder if in, well, let's call it 22 hours time, if Coach E1 will be in this exact scenario, but putting for a check for 216 million won. As long as she doesn't overcomplicate this, sinks the par, she will start tomorrow with a 2-stroke edge on Yuki Jo, 3 on Kim Min Sol and Patra Jutar Konkrapan. No, well, I'd like to say that no one would have seen that coming, but if you've been with us for the last 4 hours, that doesn't seem like the exception, but rather the norm today. Obvious disappointment. And I think the silver lining is that that happened today and not in the hypothetical 22-hour from now scenario. No one would expect her to miss it again. If she does, well, things are wide open, and she loses the lead altogether. And you can tell that she is just not set or comfortable right now. Second, third, and fourth guessing. This is for bogey in a round of 74. Well, she will hope that she can put the yips in the rearview mirror. Pretty remarkable to think on Thursday she shot a 65. 2 days later, a 74. She hasn't relinquished the full control of this tournament, but she just gave Yuhyun Jo and the chasing pack a gift with her bogey there at 18. You saw the double at 9, a bogey at 18 as well. Otherwise, the score had been unchanged. Only birdie came on the par 5 7th, sending her into the final group and the final round tomorrow. Still controlling her own destiny a little bit more than anyone else whose name is listed. Other great rounds. Kim Soo-ji, 67. 5 under score is absolutely sensational. Take nothing away from the 4 unders, of course, of Kim Min-sol. And Yuhyun Jo cascading through the leaderboard. Lots of evens. This was a difficult course today. There's no two ways about it. 1 under plus 1 even. That's what you're going to see with the most consistency, certainly in the top 20. An Ji-hyun, Imi Jung, and Pang Shin-shil, just to name a few names, all with 70s today. See a plus 8 there. Yu So-yeon, too, really struggling, dropping 21 positions today to sit 23rd. After 54 holes. Well, 54 holes was all it took to crown a champion, but alas, not at championship. Work distance, the full 70, and tomorrow we'll find who can win her second tournament of the year. She will need that putter to behave more. There's no doubt about it. Conkerpan, how many more fabulous off the green holdouts in store? How about Kim Min-sol? Rookie still in the hunt, and very much so, starting off her fabulous 2026 season. Time to say goodbye from Rainbow Hills Country Club and Song. Fellas, the name is Adam Pank. We'll see you back tomorrow, same place, same time, where we will crown historic first champion. Coach E1. We'll find out tomorrow.